Good morning, everyone, and happy new year. Yeah, we're running into some technical issues on the first day of 2022. This is Morning Market Movers, where we do live analysis for day trading. My name is Todd Rich. I'm with Nadex. With me, Brian Caprice from Keep Trading Simple. And is there a lot to talk about today? No, a little bit of a quiet open to the new year. We do have some action in gold. We've got some action in oil and the equities. In fact, I'm going to take a quick peek at where we are in the equities markets. Looking to open slightly in the green, which will be kind of nice. That's a good way to start the year. Before Brian and I jump into it, I do need to share this disclaimer that trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for everyone. That any trading decisions you make are solely your responsibility and at your own risk. And this is an educational session. Please do not construe anything Brian or I say as a buy or sell recommendation. We are doing this for your education purposes. And if my microphone sounds a little weird, we're fiddling around with that. So hopefully we'll solve that by tomorrow. As I mentioned, to start the year, we do have gold. Gold, tried to gap higher, selling off in the European session. We will go through that. We also had some action going on in oil based on OPEC opening up their mouths to start the year. So with that, Brian, I'm actually, oh, you know what? We're not sharing your screen.
Oh, that would help too. Just a little bit,
Hey,
Just
thank you
a
for
little.
that. The mic is good. Maybe I'll be able to keep this one. We'll see how it goes. Um, the other one went on the blink at the end of the year, so that's what happens. The
Mhm.
warranty wears out, and out with the old, in with the new. All right, so Brian, I'm going to flip it over to you. Let's take a look at
Sure.
what's going on in oil and gold, and then we can take a peek at equities because we are looking to open in the
Yeah.
green.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting start to a new year. It's kind of I would say it's definitely different than prior years past. Obviously, with the pandemic going on, I know I actually had some things that I work with there where it was end of the year meeting. It's like, all right, let's start off next year with a bang. And then so many people had COVID, everything got pushed back. So it's kind of a strange year. School, my kids are supposed to start school today. And then now we're like in the snowpocalypse. It's only about like I don't know, maybe an inch on the ground. Like you can see the leaves coming through still, but now there's snow. I mean, it would be nice for a white Christmas, but now the kids are being delayed from going back to school. Um, and again, where we are right now, New York with COVID, again, these are things that are going to push on the market. New York yesterday had, I think, 84,000 positive cases. Florida had 79,000 positive cases. Um, Maryland, we've been breaking records left and right. We just each day seems to be like a new total. They took a break for a day, and that was the one day we didn't. They did reported zero. We didn't report anything, but our positivity rate is over 20%, which is
Why didn't you just
back.
go back to zero?
Yeah, well, you know, it's when you get up when you take a holiday for one day, it's amazing the type of
Hey, it
resistance
went
that your
away.
population gets. Yeah, so I think this is gonna be something that starts weighing as we go into the new kind of year. At this point, I think the overall philosophy or that people feel is uh, not philosophy; it's the wrong word, but um,
Belief.
belief. Yeah, is just everybody's gonna get COVID. That doesn't matter what your status is. There are some representatives in New York that are saying the focus is wrong. Stop focusing on, work on therapies, not mandates. And people are really starting to get angry about it now. That listen, everybody's just going to get COVID. That's kind of the status we're at now. Doesn't matter where you're at. Doesn't matter if you're vaccinated, boosted. Omicron doesn't
Well,
care.
what yeah, what's going the difference is going to be the severity of the disease amongst those who have been vaccinated and those who have not.
Yeah,
Is
I know both ways. I know people that are in healthcare that are not vaccinated that have gotten it and said, "Yeah, I had a sniffly nose for 3 days." So it's different. There are people that are dying with that are boosted and vaccinated. So it's one of those things you don't know. Everybody's situation is completely different. The
yeah.
question is, what will it look like going forward? Are they going to start halting things? Colleges are now going virtual for the first couple weeks of the year, or actually the first month of the year. That word virtual again is going to start raising concerns because at a college level it doesn't affect people, but if today we start talking about, hey, listen, we're at New York had 90,000 people that tested positive, and that was over the holiday. Remember, Christmas was the meet with your family. New Year's was meet with everybody. If you
The
get
wave
COVID
is
now and they
coming.
start, yeah,
The wave is
there is
coming.
something. Everybody agrees that something is coming. Question is, if we shut down schools again, Remember, someone has to watch the kids at home. This could be a major disruptive force inside of the markets, particularly with companies again. And it's almost like another shutdown when if kids have to go virtual again. So this is going to be something that this week we got to be got to have your ears out there because it could be a major, major concern in the market. Now, that's kind of the negative aspect of it. New year, new everything. China's having some issues with Evergrande. Again, it throws some things around. Um, the Kremlin has come out and said, hey, listen, all the big people, and he says, the Kremlin says China, Russia, US, UK, says that nuclear war should never be gone back to. It should never be started no matter what. That's always positive. It's not world peace, but it is one step of everybody agreeing that it's mutually
We're
assured
not going to kill each
destruction.
other.
It's bad. Yeah. So, you know, I think with everything that's going on, between the Russia and the United States and everything, I think it's always positive when you hear that, listen, we all agree that this would absolutely be horrible. We should just never do it. Um, Will they suddenly all turn over all their nuclear weapons all at one time? No, that's not going to happen either.
Or are they going to
So
all fire them all right now as soon as we become complacent?
yeah, well, it won't be us.
We can't
You saw
trust them.
Terminator, right? Yeah, you saw Terminator, right? It's when the machines take over. That's the first thing they're doing. In Matrix, same thing. So that we all know that that's how it ends. And now that we have those AI dogs that people keep beating up on, you know how that's going to work
Oh, we
out.
got
But
the metaverse coming. It's going to be fine.
yeah, exactly. Put me in my Matrix cube and let
I'm
me live.
full of sarcasm today. Come on, it's the new year.
New year, new you, Todd. New year, new you. But anyway, news out of OPEC this morning.
There
They
we
have
go.
their new Secretary General. We're kind of see. I'm not familiar with all of them, but they do have a person. He'll begin his new role in August, so he's going to get to learn everything that there is to learn from now till then. Again, remember Russia is also very heavy-handed over there, so we haven't heard anything about production. I basically think the fact that we have not heard anything yet means that they're not going to do much. They're just not going to do anything with it. Oil, looking at a chart for oil is definitely taking it on the chop. We had talked about a Harry Potter trade. It dropped below 75.42 last week. It really ended up there. And again, it's a shame that this is the holiday because this would have been really kind of the nice little start to it. And unfortunately, with it going over, you got to kind of wait till trading starts again. And if you continue to cross, you can see it. It gapped up, it bounced, it used it, it rode the top, and then boom, it just continued to crash through. So I would say oil right now is on a trajectory to head down. Again, U.S. market, we do love our oil here. So this tends to be the market where we do have that reversal. You can see, interesting enough, actually here, I'll use my little marker. The European session actually started here. And they kind of drove price up a little bit at that 3 o'clock time frame, right? Actually, right there. This 5:30-ish mark tends to be where the reversals actually kick in again. So again, actually, I shouldn't use that one. I'll confuse someone. Like, wait a second, why'd you put all those there? There is your 5:30 mark right there. So again, tried and true 10:30, 5:30 reversal. It's been doing nothing but straight down since that time with a lot of momentum. And again, there could be a lot of reasons for it. It's hard until the U.S. trader steps in because they've been on break for a bit. But you can see we really have a decent amount of room to the downside. I would say that there's definitely a hiccup coming in right around 73.61. That's about another dollar from where we are right now. It's got to be some pretty bad news for it to fall that much in that quick of a period of time on the first trading day of the year. Again, oil is not one of those things that people are typically acquiring in on the first day of the year. And again, there are outside factors. I think OPEC not saying a whole lot. It's kind of like, yeah, maybe. But if you look at all the commodities are right across the board. Oil down 1%. Natural gas, again, this is kind of a crazy chart, but it literally did a gap. There's your gap play right there. It went right off of the gap and is now continuing to the downside. And this is a standard Sunday night play. It's no different than what we normally do. And again, it just really pulled back, grabbed it, and continued to push down. Gold at the same time is back down, is also in this kind of free fall back to the downside. And again, had a little bit of a pullback, kind of a little funky. I mean, this is one of those ones, if you were super aggressive on this one and you were in the middle of the night, you can see that right around 5:30 for that European session. Also came back and tagged the 50, kind of the 61.8 on one little spike at 4:30. Gold driving back down again. And we know that 1800 is really going to be the big kind of target to the downside. Question is, do we take that reversal off the open? And silver, again, doing what it's supposed to do, going twice as far. I'm sorry, all you Wall Street bets people. It did not hit $100 by the end of the year. So
No.
all the people out there with absolutely no business telling anybody where price is going to go, you were wrong. And I don't see any of them anymore. I don't hear them. So yeah, all those people that were, again, going this long, thinking it was going to be up there, you missed it by about what? $80, almost $80. Now we're in a free
Hey,
fall.
now
I
you're
think
being
we come back
sarcastic.
down. Yeah, no, I hate when people do those kinds of things. Oh, by the end of the year, it's great. And I know people that are very well, very influential traders. Some of the projections that they made as well. Is like you have absolutely no substance for that. They're like, well, everything else is. I was like, no. I
They
was like, you
call
know
for
better than this.
crazy numbers. It's the
They
same as
call,
the bears in the market saying,
yeah,
Dow Jones, "Oh my god, I'm calling 10,000 in the Dow." It's like,
yeah.
dude,
It's just
that's
it's
so
ridiculous, and
absurd
yeah,
that
yeah,
you have to discount what you're saying.
yeah, and my thing is, I think there should be accountability back for those people, even experts. People out there that are the supposed expert. Oh, Bitcoin's 100,000. Okay, what's why? Because you think that it's done it in the past, but what's the substance for it? Like, I hate when people make recommendations with absolutely no substance behind it. So
They're headline grabbing because they wanna
yeah,
see their name in the press, and it's almost clickbait in what they're
yeah,
saying, in which
it
case
is.
you
Yeah,
just need to ignore them.
yeah, and my thing is, if you're gonna make a call, if you're wrong, admit to it. These people will just disappear, and the next person will pop up and make the next astronomical headline.
Right.
But I would say watch silver today. Again, with gold and all the commodities down today, I think silver gets back into this 22, really 2250 range. There's obviously some buyers sitting at the 2260 range. Um,
That
like I said,
seems to be the same level, the gold 1800, silver right around in the mid,
about
22s.
2250, yeah.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
seems
mid
to be that
22s is about the same
level.
scenario. So, again, commodities taking it pretty rough today. As far as the VIX is up just a little bit, but you can see it's really, really flat. It's not really from where it closed. It's a little tiny bit up. It's 0.87. And again, you'll see. You always would like, wait a second, VIX is up, but why are all the indices up? It is the first trading day of the year. This is the day where you start acquiring new positions. So it is a very, very big buying day. The volume will be, tons higher than what we've seen over the last couple of weeks. Um, and again, what you're seeing is, and again, this is perfect. Commodities are considered riskier, all red. Indices, all green right now. If we look at Apple, again, it's gapping up a little bit higher. Tesla, huge gap higher.
They made
Crypto,
a big delivery in the 4th quarter, or yeah, they just came out, they delivered a bunch of cars. Great news coming
yeah,
out of Tesla, which is
huge
driving that.
spike. So we know NQ will get drug up for this. You're seeing Bitcoin and all the cryptos red. AMC, GME, those two are currently slightly up, but I think those will be down. And then again, bonds taking a big hit. Why? First trading day of the year. It's time to go back into equities for the year to start all your new positions. Remember,
And roll.
hedge
Yep.
funds took 3 weeks off. Everybody's in its roll day. You're buying everything back today. So that much buying pressure should be an overall good day. Again, they are pulling back a little bit, but again, it's European profit taking is what we're seeing. Um, and again, if you think about it, the volatility index also is going to be a big gauge today. Russia just said we should never fire nuclear weapons. It's horrible. All the big nations 100% agree to it. World peace should be lowering the VIX number right now. And again, we're kind of seeing it stabilize. But again, if it drops back down to 1680,
Yeah.
it wouldn't surprise me. But I would say look for buying opportunity. If you're doing really, I guess I have to switch it the other direction. I had it drawn on one of them. Here we go. If we're looking at NQ, again, NQ is pushing back down right now. And again, could this be positioning for an open, explosion? I would say probably, especially with Tesla being as high as it is. If you draw from where we closed in December up until the draw at 6:30 this morning, you can see the 50% is kind of sitting right here. And what happened right at that level? Well, we had buying last time the price was there. And
Yeah.
again, it was the European session. So I would say, depending on how far we can drive this in the next 30 minutes, this is one that looks like they want to break through, although it's got a little bit farther to go. But I would say the second area would be really where the gap initiated. And that price is all the way down here at 16,334. Right. So if we are able to drive all the way down, and remember, NQ, we got Tesla way up here, and the retail trader hasn't been able to deal with Tesla yet. I'd be looking for a buy. It looks like it's finally breaking through the 50. So, 6180 is just slightly lower. Can we get down to 16,335? I think that would be a great level to buy from just because, again, we know the Tesla is so high. Um, again, Apple, no reason not to. And again, Apple is one of those stocks that people will be acquiring today. If you think about some of the biggest names out there, your Apples, your Teslas, your Google will be another one, Amazon will be another one. These are all big things that people are going to be buying today. And if you want to buy things, typically the market jacks them up. But right now, it's bringing prices down on them. So, and YM is kind of the same thing, same kind of story. Coming back doing it into an area right around the 36,300 buyers. So,
Yep. All right. Well, we are going to have an interesting start to the new year. And I know there are still globally, this is a bank holiday, so pockets around the globe, uh, there are people that are off as for the New Year holiday today. But we're all systems go here in the states. With that. Any questions for Nadex, please email us customer service at nadex.com. Brian is also accessible. Support at keeptradingsimple.com. What are we looking at? We're looking at gold and silver starting the year weak. Oil also doing the same thing. Uh, we've got some levels where there could be, where buyers step in 22 and a half in silver, 1800 in gold. Equities looking to try to open in the green. A bit of volatility, expect a bit of volatility today, but it is going to be, we're going to start off with some trading opportunity. Here we go, 2022, let's get at it. Brian and I will be back tomorrow morning. Hopefully we iron out all of our technical glitches. Thank you so much for joining us, everyone. We will catch you again tomorrow. Good luck in the markets.